What's up guys? I was super busy for last couple days and that's why there wasn't many videos. But now we finally got the new content, Cursed City. And I kind of want to talk about an aspect that is kind of getting a bit overlooked because everybody is focusing on the new fights and content and so on. But I kind of want to talk, and of course, about the new Mythic Champion, but I actually want to talk about the item sets on this video, because I think the consequences will never be the same as the saying goes. And it is kind of good to be aware of that and be able to respond in time. It's not gonna come as a shock to anybody that these sets are very good, but I think they are a bit more than just very good. And not only are they insane sets, but we're actually getting a large quantity of them. It isn't like you get a couple pieces a month or something, and you can maybe get your first lethal set in a year or so, how it was basically in the past. But the item set is bonkers, and we are getting a large quantity of them. Let's actually first quickly take a look at the item set so we understand the gravity of what we're talking about here. So of course this is 9-piece set, so that means that you're not gonna have any reaction or any other accessory set. But if we're talking about nukers specifically, it isn't that big deal, especially considering that something like Taras is not able to get 1-shot or 2-shot or even 3-shot. So it gives you 25% attack, 30% crit damage, 10% speed, and 35% ignore defense. And then it even has an additional effect that 30% chance to reduce random skill cooldown and 15% chance for extra turn when you deal damage. Now, obviously this set is absolutely bonkers. It isn't like 10% better than the current sets, it's like many times better than the past ones. And even though all of the numbers are very large here, and we get a lot of stats, but the biggest thing here you need to take into account that this is with high ignore defense. If it just had these stats and no ignore defense, it would be good but not broken. But for instance now, the maximum ignore defense that you can get from item sets is going to be 5% from cruel and 25% from savage or lethal. This means that you're getting more than you can with those, and the ignore defense makes much bigger deal in PvP than it might sound. So that 5% increase in ignore defense, along with this massive amount of extra stats, is going to change the game completely. I think there's gonna be heavy emphasis on nukers, and you really want to have the good ones like Rotos or Taras and those ones, especially if they have some kind of mechanics that they might survive even without reaction, and if they have good scaling like those two happen to have. So for instance, any chaos sword you get in future, you're literally don't use it on any other sets in the game other than this. By the way, let's quickly look at the other set as well. I mean, it is very good. It is basically heavily improved version on the speed set. So basically these item sets are making pretty much all the other past gear obsolete, at least all of the nuker and speed gear. So stone skin and so on is definitely still gonna be used, but speed sets, lethal, rule, savage, you can forget all of those. But it's also gonna be an opportunity that everybody that is playing actively now, even if you are a low spender or free to play, if you're able to clear this content, then you're able to keep up with the top guys, and you might even be able to compete with them if you're lucky and you're able to pull Ukraine Duo. So let's actually see what pieces I got today. I wasn't even paying attention. These sets are so good, considering that you want to get the set bonus, that you might even want to consider keeping some of the less perfect items. By the way, one thing that you instantly want to recognize is that never again are you gonna use Chaos or on anything else in this game than this item set. I don't think they can release something better than this, so don't even think about using Chaos or on Reaction or anything else anymore. Only this set. And also keep in mind the strategy that I have been doing with Chaos or with the Lethal in the past, that you can definitely keep those 6-star bottom pieces, roll them to 12, see what ascension you get, and then if you get the desired stat, like let's say crit damage on gloves, then you could Chaos Roar them and see if you're gonna get insane pieces. We could actually give it a go and see what we get here. Let me double check that it is the correct set so I don't waste any of my Chaos Roar. So yeah, this wasn't even the right set. I'm not gonna or on this one because I'm definitely not gonna compete in the speed meta. But let's see what I got on the nuke set. Okay, this is gonna be the right one. Damn, these stats are like absolutely insane. I can't believe that they added so much stats on this set. And that it's so plentiful and not insanely rare. Come on. Well, these rolls don't matter, but here, give us attack percentage. Okay, we're not gonna all on that, but if it was attack percentage, I would have just Chaos Sword it instantly and maybe even HP or defense just for video. But keep in mind that you're definitely gonna want to be doing that in future. And yeah, this also kind of changes the other content in the game in an interesting way. And I don't really mean for PvE. You can certainly use these on Hydra and be stronger. But since these item sets are exactly like Speed set and Savage plus Cruel, except way better, those sets are gonna be insanely devalued. Like Fire Knight for instance, I don't see any reason to ever farm it again. Let me double check and think about it, but yeah, I don't think you really need to farm Fire Knight anymore. You might want to get some regeneration sets for some PvE content, but that's about it. There really isn't any reason to farm it anymore. Same definitely goes for Dragon as well, and maybe ironically the Ice Golem might be the best dungeon to farm nowadays, because if you really want to compete in the endgame PvE content, then the Hex set might be very good for Hydra, and you can even use Reflex and Provoke, and they might even be relevant in some other PvE content that we get in future. So probably Ice Golem is unironically the best dungeon nowadays, so there's some breaking news to you guys. And yeah, I have no idea how hard the actual content is gonna be. So far all of the content that I did I can just do with one champion soloing it, but I have no idea how hard the twinned bosses on the higher levels will be and how hard the boss is going to be. Hopefully it's not going to be that hard, but so far it seems very reasonable. Then another very interesting aspect that is also gonna shake the meta by ton. Basically I was kind of expecting and preparing to never get a primal champion in this game, or maybe get my first one in a couple years, if this game still exists at that point. But now we basically have a new shard pool or summoning pool where you can get primal champions, and probably their use is gonna be increasing a lot. Also I'm thinking that since these sets add so much more extra damage than compared to in past, the champions that are more utility oriented and not the highest damage dealing ones, like let's say Charge It, might have a better chance to be relevant in the future. And maybe even the new primal Lizardman champion that does lockout and kill, maybe even something like that could be viable. We will see, but I think this is definitely gonna have some implications to PvP in several different ways. But yeah, I emphasize again that make sure that you don't sell any of the 6-star bottom pieces on the new nuke set, You might even consider chaos soaring the top pieces, but considering how plentiful these items are, you're definitely gonna get them at some point, and the real endgame grind is going to be getting those bottom pieces with correct ascension. Oh, and we did get chaos ore in the clan shop this week. Make sure you get it and don't miss out on it, and use it on the new item set. And good luck with that, by the way. Let me know in Discord if somebody already got something insane, but this is definitely everybody's opportunity that maybe you can do your personal records in Platinum Arena if you care about it anymore, if you happen to get good RNG, or if you're just active and you're kind of getting your gear in time faster than those fossils that are a bit inactive with their insane accounts and crazy champions. But by the way, as added note that is gonna be very relevant now, is that in my Discord, which you can find in description, you can find this tool in the useful information channel, and it is an Excel document made by my clanmate Stealth. It has many different insanely good tools for calculating the exact damage, where you take into account masteries and everything. But it's gonna be very relevant now when you want to compare your old item sets to your new nuke gear, and those might be better on paper, but then you're gonna get that 35% ignore defense. You can easily check it on this calculator and you're gonna know which build does more damage. So you can easily find it on my Discord, and hopefully you will find it useful. But that's it for this video. See ya.